Hi everyone, Jessica here from Paper Ink Stamp and welcome back to my channel. So for today's video I really wanted to create an envelope for the card that we created in a previous video. So this is the card I made using the Simply Cards and Papercraft issue 218 free gift, which is this one here, Zest For Life. And I really love how this background turned out. Hopefully in that video, in the pictures at the end, you could really kind of see this background, but I really loved how it looked. And I thought it would be really great actually to create a coordinating envelope. Now I do watch a lot of Christina Warner's videos here on YouTube, and I look at her Instagram account and things, and she is by far one of the best envelope creators that I've seen. I'm always really inspired when I see her creations, and I always want to give it kind of more of a go. So yeah, that's what we're going to be doing in today's video. So we're going to create a matching envelope for this card here. So for my envelope, I want to, of course, sort of tie in the design that I've done for the card for the envelope, but my idea is not to kind of directly copy what we have done here on the card, on the envelope, otherwise that's just kind of repeating the video that I created for this card here. So I'm going to try and mix it up a little bit, but yeah, I really want to draw a lot of inspiration from this card for our envelope. So if I pop this just to the side, I've already cut a piece of watercolour cardstock here. So this is 8 1/4 inch square. So I'm going to bring in my We Are Memory Keepers 123 punch board. I'm going to extend that arm, and then I'm just going to create our envelope. So according to the instructions, we need to place our card at 3 7/8 here along the top. So I need to push down a lot harder because, like I said, this is that watercolour cardstock, and I need to make sure that I get a really great impression from that score line. Let me know in the comment section down below if you're interested in any additional videos on my channel looking at kind of envelope art. I do quite enjoy making coordinating envelopes. To be honest, it's something that I tend to do off camera after I have finished my card projects. But let me know if you want to see kind of more videos like that, kind of exploring, you know, creating videos like this, then please let me know. So because this is so thick, I've got just a little piece here that hasn't actually punched out properly. So all I'm going to do is just take my scissors and I'm just going to trim that piece off. And now what I'm going to do is just round off my corners, because I do prefer to have a rounded corner rather than a pointed corner. So that is our envelope scored and punched. If you're interested in how to use this We Are Memory Keepers 123 punch board, I will pop a link to the video that I've done previously, sort of talking you through how to use the entire board to create the envelopes, the bows and the boxes. Okay, so here is our envelope with all our score lines on here. So what I'm going to do is I'm not actually going to fold this up just yet because I want to, of course, decorate the front of it, and it's just going to be easier just to have it still flat. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to mask off my flaps because I do just want to decorate the front of this. I'm going to take some purple tape, and hopefully this is going to be low tack enough where it's not going to rip my paper when I do peel this back up. So I am, just to be on the safe side, I'm gonna do 2 strips along each of the flaps. Okay, so there we have our envelope prepped, ready to stamp our images. So I've taken a bunch of my stamps here from our stamp set and I popped them onto some acrylic blocks. I've got my VersaFine Onyx Black ink. This is a waterproof ink, so perfect for this. We're going to do probably a little bit of masking as well, because what I am going to do is I'm going to stamp our glass on here. So I'm going to kind of recreate the glass from our card, and then we're just going to add in some of those details from the background in kind of around it. So the first thing I'm going to do is stamp our glass. And I'm going to do that kind of here in the corner. So there we have that bit, and then we're going to add our elements to the inside of the card, again very much kind of like we have on our card. So let's add in, so let's just do this a slightly different way just so it still fits in. So I kept the mask that I created in the last video, so let's pop that one down. Then we can stamp our fruit again. So I think I might just leave it with the 2 pieces of fruit in there again, rather than making it exactly the same as what we had on our card. So now we've got kind of our glass there nicely, we can go ahead and start adding kind of around it. But again, so don't forget, we need to have our postage at the top here. We need to have kind of our name in kind of around here. So I'm thinking the same kind of width as the top of our glass. I'm going to come around the sort of bottom, I'm going to come up here and just sort of slightly at the top. So I have got my whole piece here. I have got my half piece, of course, and then I've got my ice cube as well. So I'm just going to come straight in. So we're going to have a piece there. And again, I'm just going to do the exact same thing I kind of did with our card. So I'm just going to hold there a second, and I'm just going to create a mask for my drink here, just so then I can kind of stamp behind the stem of this. So let's just really quickly cut this out. So this is just a regular post-it note here. Okay, so here we have our mask. So this is really kind of a basic mask here, but it should of course do the trick. So let's then stamp our ice cube kind of behind that. Let's do a little one there. So I'm happy with how that's looking. So again, I want to leave space for the stamp. I want to leave space to be able to write on this. So I'm happy with my stamping. So let's take off our mask just there. So we've got then our glass kind of really nicely in front of our background here. So now we've got all of our stamping done, so we can go ahead and actually add some colour onto this piece now. And again, I'm going to be kind of following basically what I did on the card, because I do want it to match in exactly the same as if these are a matching set. So I'm going to go in doing the exact same thing that I did before. So we're going to come in with our prism brush markers here. I'm going to add some basic colour just to this center, and then we're going to be able to kind of drag this out. So let's do another one for the line here, just in the center. Let's add in some oranges, just like so. Let's do this one here. Let's do this one. Let's do this one down here as well. So just a tiny bit of colour just like this. We're going to have to be careful when we colour in this one. Then we'll come in with our yellow and do our lines, our lemons, sorry. So we've got a full one there. And then we've got this half one. Then we can come in with our blue. So when we did this on our card, we just added a little bit of colour just kind of around there. Do the same again that side. Okay, so now we've got our colour added, we can go ahead and use our same water brush pen, and we can just sort of start moving this colour around. Okay, so there we have our fruit and our ice cubes filled in. So now we're just going to add a tiny bit of colour to our glass here. And I'm just going to do the same thing as what I did before. I'm just going to come in with this blue. So add a little bit down here to the stem. So I want to make sure that I got quite a lot of water on my brush here, just so we can really kind of pull this colour out, the same as what we did for our card. So I've just added a line of yellow in there. So what I'm going to do is just try to blend that up to kind of make it look like that is, you know, where the line to the drink actually is. But it doesn't have to be too realistic. So that is our glass, and now we're just going to do the background. So I'm going to do the same thing again that I did on the card. So I've got a pink shade here. I'm just going to take this up from my mat. And I'm just going to add that colour directly onto there, and then I'm going to pick it up with my brush. So I have popped my envelope together. I've just burnished those score lines, and I've added some red liner tape to the sides and that bottom flap just to secure that, because it is a heavier cardstock. I want to make sure that that flap doesn't sort of come undone. But there is our matching envelope to match our card. Now you of course don't have to have it where it is exactly the same as the background, so like I've done here, you could have something a lot more subtle, just something different, but sometimes I think it's nice just to kind of really have them matching in this kind of sense. I think it's really, really nice, and it's just, imagine having that drop through your letterbox. I think it would just make a really lovely surprise for somebody. And again, so this is going to fit our A2 US sized card. So if we just slip that in there. So that just fits in there really lovely. So yeah, just imagine, like I said, that falling on somebody's door, and then they open it up to a really lovely handmade card. So sometimes it is nice just to have that coordinating envelope, but don't forget, if you have just regular envelopes, if you buy blank card bases, you will have envelopes with them, you can always just decorate that envelope. You might not be able to do really watercoloring on it just because it might not take the water, but you'll definitely be able to color onto it, stamp onto it, ink blend, I would imagine. So don't be discouraged thinking you have to make your own envelopes. Just decorate what you have got. And and I think it just kind of finishes off a project really, really nicely. So if you did enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up and leave me a comment down below. If you haven't subscribed to my channel already, please do so you don't miss out on any future videos. So that's it for today. Thanks very much for watching and happy crafting.